Nobody is owed a relationship.
You were looking for the bodies.
She's not owed a relationship.
That's what it sounds like. I'm sure if she stopped. I'm sure if she stopped after 100, that she probably is looking for a real thing now. And
yeah, good for her. But
right. So you're not. So then why would y'all talk?
I don't owe a woman a relationship.
I don't think you owe her a relationship. I just think you should tell her, like, hey, I know you got 100 bodies. That's why I'm here. And maybe y'all won't have issues after.
I wouldn't date a woman with a body count of
So why even have the question about someone stopping for a year if you wouldn't give her an example? She would never be an example.
You need to stop fucking cutting in so I can have a back and forth with her.
I say my opinion.
For too long. Go ahead. I think you're in the middle of saying something.
No, I kind of lost my train of thought.
Yeah, well, I'm still confused. So she's got a body count of between 5 and 10. You think it's unreasonable for me to want to sleep with her within 3 dates?
I guess the crux of my criticism is like, what are you like bringing to the table, you know, like so quickly into the date that she would be willing to sleep with you if she hasn't in a long time or has a low body count? That's what I'm trying to
I don't think that's your point, because I mean, in your show notes here, well, I mean, I suppose it does have to do.
Yeah, because I kind of said it was like.
Yeah, you're a little sassy with it.
It seems like your first date would be more like an interview rather than like a connection being there. And so
yeah,
I just.
Tell me how you came to that conclusion.
Well, because you'll ask questions like, you know, how many people have you slept with? Are you willing to fold my laundry? Are you willing to stir my noodles? Like
right, you said it. So in your notes, you said, like, bro, why would anyone want to sleep with Brian right away when his first date's like in the interview probably, hey, I'm Brian. Are you okay with the fact that we won't get married? How do you feel about stirring my noodles and folding my laundry? What's your body count? Are you willing to bow? If I was a chaste woman on a date with Brian, I wouldn't think, whoa, this dude who just interviewed me is so great, and I'm going to immediately give up my chastity. Yeah, so I mean, that's what you said.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's a couple things here. So I would say that the way I'm conducting myself in the midst of an adversarial podcast is going to be very different than how I'm conducting myself one-on-one.
Yeah, and I thought about that
in a
too.
romantic, intimate setting. So, you know, for example, like the way somebody might conduct themselves where there's an expectation that you're having adversarial conversations is not how they're going to be conducting themselves when they're dating somebody.
We could do a mock date if you want.
You're in a relationship. Why would you say that?
For podcasts, for views.
A mock date?
Y'all let y'all fans come on the podcast and now you upset. This is what you get.
You
let your fans come on the podcast. I'm the only one not a fan for real. I don't even know what the fuck going on. I'm finna leave in a little too.
I'm not upset. We're just having the exchange.
He said, why would you say that?
Well, it's just peculiar given that you're in a relationship. But
I think you would think it's funny.
The mock date?
Yeah. Not actually, like I mean like right here. Like
I mean, this is not like really a scenario in which would be organic or conducive to like.
You heard what she said for views.
You gotta stop fucking interrupting. Kindly stop fucking interrupting, please and thank you. So, look, this sort of environment would not be particularly conducive or representative of how a conversation might play out in a more typical setting when it comes to a first date. But actually, even if I grant to you that I do take on a bit of a interviewing capacity with, you know, I know she's laughing over here. By the way, I saw this chick's fucking Instagram stories. Absolute, like, 37-year-old still going to fucking mansion parties dressed like a fucking strumpet. So, I mean, you're one to fucking talk over here. So, yeah, you've been fucking chuckling out of your mouth the entire fucking night of me. So,
thanks for stalking me.
How is it
stalking? You didn't look before the podcast, so that must have just happened.
Yeah, I was reposting people's stories, lady. Okay. So, what would actually be wrong if I were to ask women questions before agreeing to meet with them?
I think that's fine, but it kind of seems like maybe those questions wouldn't be super organic. Like on the first to third date, I would assume you'd ask that later on.
Yeah, like how do you put it into conversation?
Oh, is this a rage quit? Rage quit over here?
I'm not angry, I'm just embarrassed.
Are you quitting? It's a quit?
I think it's because we didn't know when we got invited that it would be like mean people coming real. I personally don't care.
I love that this woman's quitting when she's been mocking and laughing at me the entire fucking show.
I want to leave.
She didn't.
You're bored because you've got fucking TikTok brain because you're, oh my God, bro. There's too much fucking Botox in your face, bro. Your lips look like fucking clown fucking lips. Bro, you've been talking shit all night. The one thing I said to you was giving you the slightest milquetoast pushback to you wanting to date a millionaire. That's the extent of the pushback I gave. If you have a gripe with Andrew, that's fine. I wasn't really even that rude to you. But you've been at me all night.
I mean, I personally, from the beginning, y'all were laughing at her. He laughed at her on there for sure, before she laughed.
Bro, if I sat here and I was like, I want a 19-year-old virgin Victoria's Secret model, y'all would fucking clown me.
You know why I would clown you? Not because she's Victoria's Secret.
I would also.
I would clown you because you said 19 and you old as fuck. That's weird. That's why I would clown you. Not because of Victoria's Secret, because you could find that. They're not, some of them ain't all that good looking.
So you think it's delusional that I could get a woman of that caliber, Okay, we think it's delusional that she's a 37-year-old woman who wants to date a millionaire.
But she already is dating them. She
Where's
said
the
that.
ring? As a woman, just because guys are
Everyone
fucking,
doesn't
stop
wanna get
interrupting.
married.
As a woman, a W is not fucking multiple guys. The W is getting the ring. Until you have the ring, it doesn't mean shit.
That's so sad that people
That's
think
not
that,
sad.
though. It is, because
Bro,
everyone don't deserve to be married.
Women's metric of success is not being able to fuck a guy. You get the W when you get commitment. She's dating 3 dudes. She doesn't have the ring.
So
She doesn't have
but
commitment.
what if she got proposed by one of them and
She's
she turned
dating
them down?
3 dudes. She doesn't have the commitment. Point blank period. Y'all women think the W is fucking successful rich dudes? Nah.
No, I don't think that.
Nah.
That's why I don't have countless meaningless sex. I don't do stuff like that because I know it's not that.
Can you
That's not the
fix
way.
your mic and stop moving it kindly?
That's not the way to do it. But she never said she was dealing with numerous ones. She said only one, and that was her ex. That was the rich one. She said, and she said all of them make more than $1 million. When you said 500.
Actually, wait, you three
So
scoot
she
down?
doesn't seem like she's lying. She drives a McLaren.
You two scoot
I
down,
mean,
please.
it is what it is.
That's cool. All right, I'm gonna read a couple chats here. Hold on, guys.
Christ is Lord donated $200. Brian, a true traditional woman strives to wait until marriage, and you want a woman that doesn't wait. You have a double standard against traditional values. There's no way around this. Andrew agrees.
I'm not
There
a
you go.
I'm not like 100% a traditional man.
Brandon,
I'm not.
married.
I don't want to get married. I don't want to get married. So I don't really see what the issue is.
But I would like the chatter to respond to the paradox of, I think that this position is
Am I the
strong. So
chatter?
I agree in the
No,
spirit
okay.
of the idea that the chatter's kind of right here. But I do think that Brian's point with the paradox is true, which is that if you have a woman who has been promiscuous in the past and suddenly she's going to make you wait, that seems fucked up from the waiter's perspective, right? That seems like, oh, all these other men were good enough for you, but not me. And I still haven't actually heard a good answer to that. So maybe chatter,
What was
maybe you
the
can
question?
actually respond to that argument.
What was the answer you were looking for?
I wasn't looking for an answer.
You said I haven't heard a good answer from that yet, Cheddar.
Argument, a good argument.
Cheddar. I want to just give my opinion too.
Go ahead.
What was the answer you were looking for? Say it again.
I was looking for an argument for this. So here's the paradox. If a woman has slept with multiple men before you very quickly, but she wants to make you wait because she's turning over a new leaf, from the perspective of the man who she's turning the new leaf over for, it seems like basically she's saying you're not good enough and these other men were.
No, I don't think so. Even though I can't relate to her at all and what she's got going on, that's not my life. I'm just speaking. First of all, none of these are my life. I'm just speaking on everyone's topic because that's what we're here to.
Yeah, no,
talk.
I understand. Yeah.
But I don't think that's it. I think she's probably just trying to change her life. Like he said, he doesn't want someone who did all that, then try to change their life. So they're just not meant to be right away, like he said.
I agree that
I
they're
just
just
don't
trying to
think they
change
should
their life. I
start
agree.
either. Like if as soon as she says 100 bodies, then you should say bye. Anything else, expecting sex and something from her when she's saying she's changing, you shouldn't be upset about.
Yeah, I
because-
just wouldn't date her.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then we're
But like,
not.
what's more delusional? Her wanting a millionaire, a less than 1% man, or me wanting to sleep with a woman with a sub 10 body count in 3 dates or less? What's more delusional? Why don't you answer the question?
I mean, I guess the millionaire would be more delusional.
What do you mean?
I don't think-
you
Like,
guess.
Okay, it is.
Mm-hmm.
It is more delusional.
Okay. But so going back to your further criticisms on this,
Mm-hmm.
what would actually be wrong with like asking someone questions when getting to meet them?
I mean, it's fine if it's organic, but
What? Who cares if it's organic or not?
it's just I feel like if you're on a date and you're trying to build chemistry and like a connection, then the questions like that kind of come off more like interview and like business, like a transaction, rather than like a chemistry thing.
Sorry, man. We got to be careful here. Okay. So whose job is it on a date to bring the vibe?
I think both.
Really?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Go ahead. Let's do the role play. Go ahead.
All right. Hi, Brian.
Good job. Well done. Okay. Hey, how was your day?
It was pretty good. I went surfing today. Caught a big wave. How about you?
Oh yeah, where did you surf?
I surfed in San Diego, so
Oh, yeah?
drove here.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. I just did some work today. Took it easy. Now I'm here with you.
Well, I think we're having a good time. What's your body count?
All right, bro. All right.
Damn, I want to know.
Okay, sorry.
I want to know.
I kind of
I'm not
froze.
gonna-
You're
It's
right.
probably like
it is awkward on the
$100.
It is awkward on the podcast. I will say.
Look, why you get uncomfortable when she asked that?
Can you just straighten the mic?
Why did you get uncomfortable when she asked about your body count? You asked about women's life in general all day.
I wasn't uncomfortable.
Okay, so what's
It was
the
more
number?
So that I was like prepared to engage with her in good faith,
And she
then
went straight
just
to that.
went- she just
Yeah, I don't know.
trolled. She
It's
just- she
it's
just
kind of
trolled.
nerve-wracking.
She just trolled, so.
No, because it's like she was trying to make a point. Like, if you're on a date, how do you interject that into the conversation without it being weird?
Yeah.
Bro. Okay. Well, first off, it's hard for me to give prescriptive advice to most men because I'm in this sort of interesting scenario where, in terms of the women I've started to date, they're reaching out to me. So it's difficult to give them good prescriptive advice because most men are not in that position. So with me, yeah, I'm fucking screening these chicks hardcore.
Because they want your views and not you.
You're an idiot. Oh my God. First off,
Not an idiot.
Nah,
I'm
you
saying
are
what
because,
people think.
because
Look at her flirting with you with her boyfriend because you have views. My point.
That doesn't.
But
make
it's
your point
okay.
at all.
I'm gotta go too. It
Yeah,
was fun.
so hold on. Let me respond to you. So here's the funny thing about that.
You don't have to go.
Hold on.
Just
I
have
do.
some fun
Listen,
with
I
it.
know I'm the party. I'll come back with
Hold
my
on.
fro and no makeup on for you guys later in my Victoria's Secret
Just
outfit.
sit,
for
chill
y'all
out.
later,
I'll
another
respond
day.
to
But
you.
I gotta go right now.
I'll respond to you.
I came
so.
with her and you ruined it. She didn't like. She's leaving. My stuff's in
Well,
her car.
tell her to come back.
She's upset.
She's coming back. Just
No.
tell her to fucking go. Tell her if she comes back, I'll give her a fresh $2 bill, a fucking what are the Rice Krispie treat, applesauce, and
You know how much a $2 bill is worth now?
I have one in my phone. What I was gonna
So
say.
wait, hold on. Let me answer your thing really quick, and then we can have a discussion over your lady friend who just dipped. So okay, if she's trying to like clout farm me or whatever, which is not something I've actually ever encountered, it's a terrible idea because any girl I date is never getting even a shrivel, a crumb of any
But
public
they'll still
facing.
try. And that's when you
No,
gotta
because
realize.
I keep
fake
my
innocence.
stop. You gotta stop fucking interrupting. I keep my relationships very private. My family very private. My friendships very private. If I'm dating a girl, I could be dating her for 2 years. Nobody fucking knows. I'm not telling anybody about it.
Okay.
So if she's trying to date me to get some sort of benefits for clout, it's one, you're not gonna get it. Two, I'm just not public like that with my relationships. I don't do what these other influencers do where they fucking are in relationships publicly.
Okay.
It's private, and I don't date Instagram chicks. I don't date social media
Or
girls.
model.
I don't date content creators.
Okay. Or money they might use you
Sure.
for. It
Maybe
don't
they
have
could
to
want-
be.
sure, maybe
I
they
don't
want
even
me
know
for
if you
money.
have money. I just know you got a podcast.
I am broke. I am broke.
I don't think you're broke.
I am a starving college
But you
student.
might be, regular compared to her wanting a millionaire. And the only way that she gonna come back is if you bring her a millionaire. So figure it out.
We got millionaires in the chat.
Okay. Any millionaires?
Many.
We got some millionaires in
Can
the
y'all
chat.
please send my friend some
In
money?
fact, we have the Burger King in chat.
Yikes, shave your baby hair donated $200. Red is goldfish tier content. Let's involve everyone else. Panel, what is the biggest red flag job for men and why? Ryan and Andrew, same question for women, but why is it sales?
Red flag job. Okay. Well, look. Your friend left. Tell her to come back. It's all good.
I don't think
It got
she's coming
heated.
back. We just met
It
y'all.
got
So when it
heated.
get heated when you just met him and then you leave.
Yeah, but like, what did she do to contribute to that?
You gotta understand, all these people speaking too, like, unless we were getting paid off of every comment, she's not gonna want to hear, like, the comments that people are making me. I don't care because I'm me. Like, whatever people say, it don't matter. I'm gonna leave out here still being me. I'll start my own channel. Y'all actually just gave me a good idea. Thank you. And my new podcast. Hey, shout out London, 2Ns_R.
Blah, blah,
Follow
blah,
me.
blah, blah,
Send me
blah, blah.
money. I don't do OnlyFans.
Are you
Jealous,
doing this
jealous.
mentality on American Idol where you're like, I'm going to be a singer. I'll teach you. I'm going to be a singer. I'll show you, Simon. Is that basically what you're doing?
Yeah, you know what? I did do that. And he said on the like little game, and he was like, "Boo, go, you suck." And it hurt my feelings as a kid. It really did.
Wait, you went on American Idol?
No, I was just playing.
Wait, what part of- what
I
part
was just
of,
playing a game at home on my Wii. All the Wii back in the day.
Wait, what part of LA?
And he got booed off on the game?
Yeah,
He fucked it up in the game?
I know.
It's crazy.
You're taking some L's tonight. You're taking some L's.
It's okay. I mean, I don't think so because I'm still beautiful. Still gonna leave out here, and it was fun.
Yeah. So, what part of LA do you live in?
Studio City.
Studio City. Who came from LA?
Me,
Did
the
you come
girl
from
who
LA?
left.
What part of LA are you in?
The Valley.
Oh, the Studio City is before
It is the valley. It's the
Well, I
same
don't know. I
basic.
just don't want to get like too into it.
Well, we don't need to look at. Are you down to be her ride?
Damn, just volunteer me.
No,
I'm
it's
asking.
okay. I'm gonna go with her. My stuff's already in her car, and I feel bad. Everybody don't want to go through what happened here tonight.
Before you leave, what's your body count?
Yeah, one hand and not the whole hand, and that's why I act how I act. So you guys have a good night.
Or you-
Oh, and I'm
or-
natural. No, nothing like this is me. Natural.
That's-
Have a good night. Good night. If you guys want me again, I actually don't mind. It was funny and interesting. Like I don't care about negative people. I know it's a 8 billion.
Okay,
people.
look, you either got to get your friend to come back or you just got to leave. We can't keep having the convo.
I know, that's what
So
I'm saying. Because
go
she's
talk
not
to her.
coming back.
Go talk to her. See if she wants to come back. Otherwise, you just got to get out of here. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Always get out of here when you ask me first. But it's fine. Bye, guys. She's not coming back.
Peace out. Peace out. You too, homie. Afuera.
Good talk. Good talk.
Good times.
All right, that was a double rage quit. If we can get the, do we get the?
Lewandowski with a hat-trick!
So close.
Put it in! Oh my word, this is one of Lewandowski's finest performances.
Thank you. All right, out you go. A little less conversation, a little more action, please. Thank you. Elvis, good musician. Oh my goodness. All right, guys. Well, we have Morgan joining us. We have Anissa joining us. They're now part of the panel. Your thoughts, Andrew?
I'm just breathing a collective sigh of relief on behalf of the entire panel. Now maybe we can get to the show.
Yeah, I know. We can actually get through some of the notes here. Yeah.
The chick with the star on her head, right? You got to start with the chick with the star on her head. We have to start there.
It's a pimple patch.
I'll get through the notes.
It's a pimple patch.
Wait,
They're
so
like
clever.
they're really
Clever.
trendy for your young people.
Really?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh.
Okay, so let me get into your notes. You're 18. You're in an age gap
I'm 19
relationship.
now.
Oh, 19.
Yeah.
That was from previously. You're in an age gap relationship.
Yes.
And he's how old?
29.
About to be 30.
Not about to be.
How did you guys meet?
Oh my God, ick.
Ick.
Ick, yes, yeah, I can't believe it. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What was your question?
How you guys met?
We met online.
Dating app? Which one?
Tinder.
Okay. Was it a hookup initially?
No.
No. Okay. Is this? Wait, hold on. That's not your first relationship because you said your longest relationship was 3 years, right? This has been going on 6 months. So you've been 6 months in an age gap relationship. I want to open that up to the panel really quick. Do you guys have any objections to age gap relationships?
No.
I feel like 20 years could be a lot.
20 years?
I would say it depends. Like, as long as nobody's taking advantage of anybody.
Okay. All right. And your ex for the 3-year one, you said he was addicted to corn, right?
Which is why we broke up.
Yeah, you dated for a little over 3 years throughout high school. You hooked up with a boy best friend. What do you mean there?
Well, just, on the show for history and everything. That's just my history, is the 3-year relationship, which I left, and then...
Between that, you hooked up with one of your male friends.
And then now I'm in my relationship.
Got it, okay. You said you're very traditional in your relationships.
I wouldn't say very, but
Well, that's what you wrote in your
I'm
notes,
pretty
but-
traditional, just with my beliefs and how I grew up and everything.
Okay, you said you were raised Catholic and you still identify, but definitely don't follow it strictly. Fuck modern feminism.
Those are all separate thoughts.
Yeah,
but
so let's start. Okay, you're raised Catholic. Are you still Catholic?
I wouldn't say so,
Okay, split.
but
get split
I still have some of my views from there. I don't practice, but I did go to Catholic school my whole life, so I do have a lot of background.
One sec, guys. Okay, never mind. Okay, you identify, but you don't follow it strictly. What does that mean?
So I just don't practice. I haven't really gone to church or anything, but obviously, it's what I believe in. You know what I mean?
Okay. I mean, can you elaborate a little bit, or?
Yeah, I mean, I just believe in Catholic beliefs. I just don't practice them. That's it.
So you believe in God?
Yeah, I believe in God. I believe in the Trinity.
So you know about it, but you don't follow it?
No, I believe in it. I just don't practice. I don't go to church or anything like that, which obviously,
Well, wouldn't the belief in it require following it?
Well, yeah, that's the ideal, but it's just not at the point of life where I'm at right now. Just my own struggles and just identity and everything. But I still heavily believe in my faith and everything.
Wouldn't it help you through the struggles?
Yeah, I'd say so. It's just my personal struggles that are keeping me away from practicing.
Well, that's my point. Wouldn't it help you through the
Of course, yeah.
That wasn't shade, by the way.
Yeah, of course, I know. I know how people feel with people believing and not practicing, especially if you have the ability to. It's just
Would
internal
you say that
struggles.
Catholicism is getting in the way of your journey?
What would you mean? Journey in what?
Your journey in life.
I think that's a big thing. Catholicism, definitely, holds back, a lot of the things that I want to do, and so.
What you think?
Well, just things in life, Catholicism.
Having sex with men.
Of course, yeah,
So
premarital sex.
You would say
marriage.
it doesn't allow you to have your version of fun, right? That's
yeah,
right.
just the way I live my life.
Okay.
So I just want to be clear. You went to Catholic school your whole life, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the? Do you know? Can you tell me what is the one unforgivable sin?
Denying God.
Blasphemy against the Holy Spirit. That's the one. So What that means is that you know that Jesus Christ is divine, and you know that the faith is true, and you reject it on purpose. That would be blasphemy against the Holy Spirit, the one unforgivable sin.
Wouldn't blasphemy be mockery of God?
That is mockery.
Well,
imagine knowing that Christ is God, knowing that Christianity is true, and you turn away from it anyway.
I just think that's a struggle that humans go through, though. I mean,
It's not a struggle that humans go through when they know a thing is true and then reject it anyway. That's the opposite of the human condition. Usually the human condition is when they know something is true, they accept that truth. But when somebody says, I accept that this is true, but reject it anyway for my own personal desires, that's the opposite, generally, of what we consider to be moral, right?
can we pull up the definition of blasphemy?
Can you speak a little louder?
Can we pull up the definition of blasphemy?
Yeah, you can pull up the definition of blasphemy, but blasphemy against the Holy Spirit itself is its own particular type of blasphemy. It's the knowledge that the thing is true, rejecting it anyway, rejecting the divinity anyway. That's what it actually is. I'm just pointing. The only reason I'm pointing this out is because out of all of the sins which are comported to be heinous, that one in particular is the very worst, at least how it's described by the Catholics.
So I
that
guess
you know it's true, you know the divinity is real, you accept that it's real, you accept it's true, and then you turn away from it anyway.
So you're saying it's a form of blasphemy? Because I guess I would say blasphemy is more like open mockery, like how people...
I can only allow one more comment on this. And
Yeah, okay, so just real quick. What could be more mockery than, yes, Jesus, I know you're divine, but reject you anyway so I can have sex with a guy? How could you even... I would like you to actually just think for a second and tell me anything that could be more blasphemous or more mockery-based than that. Anything.
I guess to me it just sounds more like rejecting God, because everyone has the choice to accept or reject God, but I would say I would disagree that falls under blasphemy.
No. A rejection of God is I don't believe. I don't believe is different than I do believe. And then in spite of the belief, I'm going to do the thing anyway.
Okay. So you're saying they claim
I'm very sorry,
it, but they don't represent
I'm very sorry. Got to move it on. Let's see here. I need to get into the notes here. Why don't we go back to Kaylee here? You said you're not a huge labia enthusiast.
It's true.
Are you bisexual or
No.
You just disagree?
I disagree with it.
With the labia?
Not necessarily that having big labia is bad. It's just kind of weird.
What's
that
weird?
How much you like labia. Like you have an Instagram dedicated to it, BLM.
Yeah, big labia matter.
Yeah, I'm aware.
What would actually be weird with, so a male finding the genitalia of a female? That's weird. I didn't know it was weird for men to be attracted to vagina. Excuse me. Maybe I'm too straight for you. I apologize.
Which?
But what?
Sorry.
Go ahead.
What part of it? The menorah or the majora?
I mean, both are cool, I guess.
So,
I guess they both can be big.
So big menorah is fine, is what you're saying? And
so the lips?
Does it not matter?
I
That's
mean,
the majora.
both is good.
Okay. I don't know. I was just asking.
Okay.
I'm like, because I've never seen the page that she's talking about.
Also, you did say you would bow to me, so go ahead.
I did.
Go ahead.
When we were on
stand
our
up.
mock date.
Let's see the bow. I
can show you what my boyfriend and I do. Because he bows to me too. So.
That's pathetic, but
we penguin bow like that.
Because of the whatever podcast?
No, actually, we were at the Monterey Bay Aquarium, and they were demonstrating how penguins bow to each other, and we thought it was hilarious. And then it kind of was funny that you guys also brought it up on
that's
the podcast.
Cool. In any case, I rebuke you for your anti-big lady matter rhetoric. Disgusting. You also said there's some views you disagree with. I think we kind of got into those. I don't know. Was there anything else?
I brought up the women's right to vote.
Why don't we save that? We're going to save that one for a little later, though.
Really? We're going to say? Okay. All right. Yeah. I want to get into that one. Don't let me forget.
We will get into it. But okay. And you have to remind us for the show.
Will do.
That's a debate you'll have with Andrew. Let's see here. Going to Megan, you're a full-time yapper. You've absolutely failed to live up to this.
I know. This is a very awkward environment to be in.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
It is.
Yes.
Like to have
it's not that bad. It's what?
I feel like now we have more room to talk.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You got to be assertive with the conversation. You can't let your neighbor just fucking, what's it called? Just totally, monopolize the entire airtime. You said you've been married a few years, same person for 8 years, or married 2 years, together 8 years. Fairly normal dating experiences prior, other than one of my exes coming out as gay.
2 of them, yes.
2 of them. So you're attracted to gay men.
I didn't know they were gay to start with. Yeah.
Well, you're maybe so.
Wait, 2?
2.
Yeah, it's great.
It's a bad track record, right?
Sure is.
2?
Are you ever...
Well, how close? How close
Can you
together?
scoot into the table?
Yes, sorry.
Like, not to be offensive, but are you ever worried that your husband may...
No.
Okay.
No,
Because I was like, that. We're all like 2, because it's like the odds of that.
Yeah.
Yes, I changed quite a bit throughout my years. My political affiliation has changed a lot too. So what I accept is no longer what I used to accept. Just put that out there.
You used to accept Wait, you used to accept it? Like, you used to accept, like, wait, did any of them want to be pegged?
Not that I know of. No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Good dog. You said modern dating seems awful nowadays, very disingenuous. Why do you say that?
Yeah, nowadays it seems completely like trash, to be honest. I mean, everybody's using a dating app that was completely different when I was dating. You can't really get to know many people or really in depth, I guess you would say, because it's all in front of a camera. People don't want to get to know one another. They really just want to fucking move on, which is fine in certain circumstances, I guess, if that's your thing, but that's not what I would personally be looking for if I was dating.
Okay. You said you're a Reformed Democrat who previously dated 2 men who came out as gay. Hot takes, you would never be in a relationship with a trans man.
Yeah, I don't think that should be a hot take, but yes.
Yeah, I don't think it's that hot of a take. Going around the table, do you think it's wrong? Let me kind of like reverse the roles a bit. Do you guys think it would be wrong for a male to not want to date a trans woman?
No.
No.
Wait, what was the question? I'm sorry.
You mean the one I just asked?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that one? Do you think it's wrong for a man to not want to date a trans woman?
I think it's their choice.
Okay.
No.
Wait, let me just push back a little bit here. You think you might acknowledge it's their choice, but do you object to the choice?
I mean, probably not, I guess.
Okay.
It's just their thing.
No.
No? Okay. All right. How about this? Is it straight for a male, to date, well, hold on. For a man to date a trans woman, is it straight?
No.
No.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I think it has its own category, so no, I guess.
Okay.
No.
No.
Okay, all right, there you have it, folks. Okay, let's see here. We're gonna go, Naomi? Is that you?
Yeah, that's me.
That's you. Okay, you're a sugar baby. We didn't really get to that. How many sugar daddies have you had?
I don't remember, but right now I have like 3.
Currently, you have 3 right now? Okay. How many, you don't know how many total? Like 10 plus, 20 plus, 30 plus?
Probably like 10 plus.
10 plus, okay.
Yeah, it's not that much.
And so you have 3 currently. Do you hook up with any of them?
Yes.
Yes, okay. All 3 of them?
Yes.
I'm just curious, because I know
Excuse me?
sugar daddies are like stereotyped to be old. Are they all old?
I feel like I would be like putting them in like a specific profile. Like, I don't know if they want to even...
Just like 50 or older. Like, just yes or no. You don't have to specify their age.
I just don't want to get into like what they look like or anything like that because it's like discretion.
Is it like legalities? Like you sign a contract?
No.
So, okay, you've got the 3 sugar daddies. You're hooking up with all of them. How does it work? Do they give you an allowance?
Something like that.
So, like, do they also pay for your bills?
Something like that.
Well, can you be a bit more precise?
I don't really have a lot of bills, but I go shopping a lot.
Do they pay for your rent?
Nothing is like directly paid for, so it'd be like...
So they just give you money?
As a gift, yes.
As a gift, yeah. How much, I'm curious, so like the guy who's spending the most on you, how much does he send you per month?
That's personal, for sure.
Oh, give us the details. This is good content.
No, there's other stuff.
Okay, well then perhaps a different question. Out of all 3 of these sugar daddies, can you tell us the age of the oldest one? Roughly.
No.
Within the decade. 50s, 60s?
No.
I mean,
I'm sorry.
That would not be reveal. I mean, it wouldn't really be.
Yeah, that wouldn't reveal anything.
How would it reveal?
Because then it's like if I'm with a certain age person out in public, they're just going to
Is any of these people 20 plus years older than you?
I mean, sure, yeah.
Okay. So then I would not be mistaken in saying, and forgive me if this is incorrect or I'm characterizing this incorrectly, but you're a prostitute, is that correct?
No.
You're sleeping with 3 men simultaneously, many of them much older than you, for the purposes of them giving you money. Can you explain to me how that's not prostitution?
Damn. Can I explain to it?
Yeah, can you explain to me how that's not prostitution?
Because it's not like a for sure thing. Like, it's not the direct. If it's directly, I'm giving you
It's
this.
pretty direct. You're sleeping with all these men. In exchange, they're giving you lots of money. I don't understand. Can you make the delineation? Can you draw me the delineation between a prostitute does this, which is she has sex with men for money. You do this, which is you're having sex with men for money. What's the delineation point?
I just don't think that like we have to label it as such.
Yeah, but why?
Why? Because it's not direct. It's not like, oh, I'm giving you this for this. That would be direct.
Wait, if any of these men stopped giving you this money, would you stop sleeping with them?
I'm into the provider type.
Yeah, so then the answer is no?
I think if it was like, I don't think it would be no necessarily.
So if any of these men tomorrow stopped giving you any money at all and said, I'm not giving you any money anymore, but I would still like to continue sleeping with you, you would say yes?
It depends. It's something that we would have to have a conversation about for sure.
Okay, so you had the conversation. What would the conditionals be in which you would continue to sleep with them if they gave you no more money?
I feel like that's personal, but like, yeah, it's like a little too personal for me to share.
Can I ask a question?
But here's the thing. I think that you wouldn't, and that you're basically lying to me on purpose because you know that the entailment of the answer, if you said, no, I would not continue to sleep with them if they stopped giving me money, is that you then know that you would be a prostitute. So I'm going to ask you to just be honest. Isn't it really true that if any of these men, any of them, stopped giving you any of these goods or money, that you would stop sleeping with them? Isn't that the case?
That's not the case, actually.
Okay. Let's say then, if any of them, is there at least some of them that if they stopped giving you money, you would stop sleeping with them? Is there at least one of them?
Damn, I feel like I'm put on the spot.
Is there at least one?
I think you just want me to admit to your definition.
No, I don't.
I
just want you to answer my question.
Definition.
I just want you to answer my question. That's all I want.
I think I have love for all of them. So
yeah, I know, but can you repeat my question back real quick?
No, I can't actually.
Okay, so I'll ask again. Is there at least one of them who, if they stopped giving you any of this money, that you would not continue to sleep with them? Just one.
It's not even just about the money, though. Their personality.
I know, but that's not my question. That's not my question. So I'm going to ask you the question again.
I understand.
I'm going to keep asking it until you answer it. I'm never going to let you evade it. I'm never going to let you sidestep it. I'm just going to keep asking it until you answer it. Is there at least one who, if they stopped giving you resources, you would stop sleeping with them? Is there one?
I love how you changed the question to resources. To be honest, I thought about cutting certain people off anyway, money or not. So it's a lot about personality.
You really actually just, again, did not actually answer the question. Can you please answer the question I asked you?
Probably.
Well, I don't know. It probably doesn't mean anything. Yes?
I did answer your question. It just
okay.
wasn't
Then let me ask you, you know what? I'll even make this simpler. The sugar daddies you had previously, before this particular grouping of sugar daddies, is there at least one of them who, if they had stopped giving you resources or money, you would not have continued to sleep with?
Probably not. I don't know.
No.
Everything is
really?
situational, to be honest with me. I'm not trying to be annoying or anything, I swear.
I mean, I just feel like this is clever sidestepping because you don't want to admit what everybody in this room and everybody who's viewing and everybody on planet Earth knows, which is that at least some of these men, or one of them at least, if they stopped giving you lots and lots of money and resources, you would stop having sex with them. Is that the case, or is that not the case? Just directly. Is that not the case?
I feel like I'm really not trying to sidestep this. I'm just genuinely answering.
So is it or is it not the case?
I said probably not. It's probably not the case.
It's probably not the case. Okay.
But I do, regardless if there's money involved or not, I get, tired of people's personality. So it could, it's very situational.
Yeah, but I'm guessing you get far less tired of their personality if they're giving you lots of money, right?
That part.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm just going to be completely honest with you. This sounds an awful lot to me like prostitution. In fact, I would consider it to almost be the dictionary definition of prostitution, which is a man gives you money, and in exchange for that, you have sex with him.
So then what would an escort be by your definition?
She would be if she was actually just escorting men to dinners and was not doing anything sexual with them, then I would say, I'm answering the question.
Oh, sorry.
If I would say an escort, if they were actually just escorting men out like they're supposed to, because they're just escorts, they're just supposed to be arm candy, so that men who walk on a red carpet or something like this have something on their arm, I don't consider that to be prostitution. But if you mean escort in the term where they show up and then they go out and then they have sex with the guy, that's very clearly prostitution, yeah.
Yes, it doesn't necessarily have to lead to prostitution, like sex, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to lead to sex, and then by your definition, it's not prostitution. Because if we're feeling each other's vibe and we want to have sex, we're two consenting adults, then we're having sex.
Yeah, I agree that you could be two consenting adults who are just having sex. What I disagree with is whether or not you would continue to have these relationships with these men who you claim are sugar daddies, quote unquote, meaning they give you lots of resources, and that you would continue to have sex with them absent those resources. That's what's in dispute here.
Yeah, I understand the dispute.
Yeah, that's what's in dispute. So you can, I suppose, say, no, really, Andrew, what it is I just like to really fuck all three of these guys, and I don't care about the resources because they're great, they're fantastic, they are the bestest of the bestest, but I just really don't think that that's the case, right?
They're good people. Part of what makes
I'm
them
not
good
saying
to
they're
me
not
is
good
the
people.
provider type.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're not good people. I'm just saying that if suddenly they were good people who also didn't give you any resources anymore, that perhaps you would stop sleeping with these good people. That's all I'm saying.
That's like if I want to
That's-
get serious, and then like if I want to like, because I'm dating 3 of them, you know, like for me personally, dating is like you should have some sort of advantage in life. Like you don't want to be left with nothing. So if I want to get serious with someone, and like maybe it's one of these guys, if they stop wanting to pay me and it's like progresses to something else, then sure.
Okay, well then, last question on this and then Brian can move on. If one of these guys did want you to get serious with them, exclusively just them, and said that they were no longer going to give you resources, though, if you got exclusive with them and you could not take resources from any other men but them, would you do that?
No.
Okay, you're a prostitute. Yeah, that would be dictionary prostitution, right? That would.
Okay.
You had a question for her?
Well, I'm just curious. Is prostitution legal in California? Is that why you're not
No,
saying
it's
that
not.
you're? Okay.
Wait, oh, that was
That was the question because maybe she doesn't want to admit that she's a prostitute because it's illegal.
Do you,
Escorting is legal.
Do you live in California?
I live in LA, yes, but there's a difference between an escort who's choosing to sleep with someone who's providing for them, and there's a difference between just being paid outright.
Do you think
for sex specifically, yes or no? Like you don't have a choice. Like I mean, you have a choice, but they're like saying, "Oh, I'm not going to pay you unless you sleep with me." It's not that type of situation.
I mean, you can put a bow on it, but I mean, it's essentially prostitution. Like it's basically just coke. Like, oh, okay, I go out to dinner with the guy first, and then I can look at myself in a more favorable light because I did this token gesture of going to dinner with him before he paid me for the money for what he actually really wanted, which was to have sex. It's just cope.
I don't know. I feel like I'm getting grilled for my answers.
I mean, well, a little bit, but I'm going to be fair back to you. The reason that I'm grilling you on this is because, to me, semantics, when you're talking, when you're having a discussion about a thing, I think are really important. I think it's important that we have semantic distinctions so we understand what we're talking about. So if you say, I'm not in this category, category A, in this case, category A is prostitution, I say, okay, I believe you, 100%, right? Yeah. But if you say, I'm not in category A, and everything you say fits with prostitution, then we're clearly talking about 2 different things, and that's bothersome, right? That now it's like, well, wait a second. It sounds like we are talking about the same thing. You're just calling it something different for some reason because you just don't want the label of prostitute put on your shoulders. That's where it's problematic. It's not even an attempt to be mean. It's just an attempt to clarify what we're actually talking about.
Well, I mean, we're speaking about right now, but in the past, like I've had people pay me to hang out with them, and then it doesn't lead to sex. It's more of if I want to have sex with them.
Would you have had sex with them for the right price?
What the fuck? That's like, I don't know how to answer that. I'm sorry.
Are we with yes or no?
Wow. Can you repeat the question?
Would you have had sex with them for the right price?
It's more about like how I feel with them, if I'm like comfortable.
Great.
Not about
you feel good about
the
them?
right price.
You feel good about them, and they're going to give you $500,000. You sleeping with them?
What the fuck? I don't know about that one.
You don't know?
Stop the cap. You know about that one. You ain't been paid that much from anybody.
That's true.
Okay. Did you have some more, Andrew, or?
No, I think we can leave it there.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get you to understand. Like, oftentimes people think that it's some type of meanness or something like this. We're just trying to establish basic terms, but you can understand why when people do horrible things, or they have a perception that people will think that it's a horrible thing, that they're very, very evasive about calling the thing what it is. And so that's why I'm like, well, wait, can we at least pin down what the hell we're talking about? That's not an attempt to be mean. It's just an attempt to get clarity on what we're even talking about.
The thing is, like, culturally speaking, that's the way that they want to treat their women anyways. They want to spoil them. And I'm not dating seriously right now. That's why I have a roster. I call it sugar daddies because, yes, they're taking care of me. They're spoiling me. But if you want to label it as prostitution, then...
The legendary Trash Panda donated $199.
Thank you, man.
Drinking game in Discord. The more you say, stop interrupting, etc. And the more Andrew mocks, the drunker we get. Also panel, specifically Chair 1 Goth Catholic. We need to see your feet.
Gross. What the fuck, dude? What kind of gross degenerate ass super chat was that? So, anyway, that's it. I'm just trying to get clarification, and I think oftentimes Brian and myself are ridiculed because when we try to get clarification on basic terms, they actually get offended. They get offended that we're just trying to figure out what the hell they're even talking about.
No, it's cool. I'm not offended. I was just like,
Sure.
I think there's just a gray area and people get that kind of confused sometimes.
Yeah, isn't it interesting though how the gray area seems to usually exist with the person on the side of the behavior they don't want to admit to. Suddenly there's a gray area when there seems to be complete clarity from everybody else. So like, look, I'm going to actually prove this to you, right? Now the girls in the room might be way too nice to raise their hand, but I'm going to ask the question to the table anyway. Would you consider that if you slept with multiple men in exchange for resources or money, that you would be a prostitute, just by a show of hands? If you could raise your hand, if you would agree that that's prostitution.
I would think so.
Yeah. So it doesn't seem like there's a lack of clarity or a gray area from anybody except the person who's on the end of the behavior itself. Isn't that interesting?
It's not an exchange, though. It's who they are. That's what they want to do. They want to provide.
And they
I
would
want
continue to do it
provide
absent any sex with you?
It's not an exchange.
They would continue to do it absent any sex with you?
What?
They would continue to do it absent any sex with you ever again?
But then it wouldn't be like dating.
Yeah, then it sounds like an
probably
exchange, right? It sounds kind of like a trade of some kind.
Well,
like, hey, if you're not giving me the sex, then I'm not going to give you the stuff.
But
that
they'd probably
sounds kind of like the whole prostitution thing.
They would probably see me as a friend if I stopped wanting to have sex with them.
So wait. Why don't they want to just spoil their friend?
I don't know. Maybe it's just a dating culture thing.
Yeah, it's a dating culture. Like, it's almost like they want to give you stuff in exchange for having sexual intercourse with you. Isn't that amazing? It's very odd how this is. It's very strange how this is working out. All roads seem to lead to, I give you thing and I get pussy in exchange. That.
Okay.
Oh, Andrew, I think you got muted there for a moment. I don't know if that's on our end or possibly your end. Can you speak into the mic, Andrew? Andrew, sorry, can't hear you. Can you try speaking into the mic? Can you hear us? Andrew, can you hear us? Thumbs up if you can hear us, Andrew. Thumbs up if you can hear us. I don't know if he can hear us. Okay, we'll just...
I think he's fixing his mic.
Something happened to his mic. Well, while we're doing that, we did have a chat we have to get back to, but also practicing gentlemen. For Andrew, would you consider romance novelists, romance poets, or even corn scriptwriters to be prostitutes? For Brian, would you date a romance novelist? Andrew, did you hear that?
I didn't hear the last part of it, I'm sorry.
Would you consider romance novelists, romance poets, or even corn scriptwriters to be prostitutes?
No.
And would I date a romance novelist? Like a woman who writes romance novels? Maybe. It's not ideal job, I guess, but I don't think it would be 100%.
Who cares? It's all men who write that shit. Who cares?
Yeah, I don't think it would be 100%.
It's all men who write all romance novels and then they do it with a female pen name.
Yeah. And then we do have to get back to, let me see here. Let me read this from Mr. Unremarkable. Hey, thank you for the super chat, man. Good to see you back in the chat. A rose by any other name is still hookerism. Got to give it to the lady, though. At least she's engaging in the conversation. Mr. Unremarkable, thank you so much for the super chat, man. Really appreciate it. Good to see you back in the chat. Now, before we get into, there's a super chat that came in a little bit ago. He was asking about red flag jobs. I need you guys to, one, really quickly like the video. Guys, like the video if you're watching on YouTube. And then, guys, go to twitch.tv/whatever. Drop us a follow and a Prime sub if you have one. Guys, if you have Amazon Prime, you can link it to your Twitch. It's a quick, free, easy way to support the show every single month. Basically, look, if you have Amazon Prime, you get it all linked up. So every single month, you can just support the show essentially for free. I mean, you already have to have the Prime sub. And then if you guys can, if you're watching on Twitch, drop us a follow. Watching on YouTube, and you can even do this. You can drop a Prime post show. So if some people watch this not live, they watch it on playback, you can still drop a follow. You can still drop a Prime sub. Yo, thank you guys so much for all the follows, guys. Can we try to get to 93,200 followers, guys? That'd be really appreciate all the support, guys. J Ray, thank you for the Prime. Thorn, thank you for the Prime. M, thank you for the Prime. Schlageless, thank you for the gifted 5 subs, man. Thank you so much. Sandbox Explorer, thank you for the Prime. Really appreciate it, guys. Grab it with 2 hands. Wow. Okay, he's got a big one then. Thank you for the Prime, man. Really appreciate it. And yeah, guys, just watching on YouTube if you can. If you have a Twitch account, just drop us a follow. Really appreciate all the support on there. And the support from you guys with the Primes and all this stuff, super appreciative, because you know we rarely get sponsorships, so the show is viewer supported, audience supported. So really appreciate it, guys. With that said, Reed is 100, TTS is 200. If you guys want to get one in, thank you, guys. So going into the super chatters question, and he did say, I'll pull it back up here.
Yikes, shave your baby hair, donated $200.
He said,
Red is goldfish tier content. Let's involve everyone else. Panel, what is the biggest red flag job for men and why? Brian and Andrew, same question for women, but why is it sales?
So going around the table, what do you think is like the biggest red flag job in a man?
Construction worker.
What?
I live in AZ. So,
Arizona?
Yeah, it's just a stereotype.
Wait, why do you living in Arizona? Like there's
it's
not
just a stereotype.
Construction?
It's a stereotype for men there. Like if you drive around,
They party pretty hard. Right.
Okay.
If you know the culture, you know. I don't know if it's the same in every state, but specifically AZ.
Yeah, it's the same in California. Same in
Yeah, I've
California.
heard.
Out west, there's a stereotype with construction workers that after they clock out, because a lot of them get paid big cash bonuses, they party pretty hard. That's the,
Interesting.
when they're young.
And old.
Not as much when they're old, but yeah, especially, but when they're young, especially, yeah.
So construction worker, what about you?
Probably anything in the entertainment business,
Like podcast host?
like podcast host.
Sweet. Okay, got it.
Maybe if they're like a gynecologist or something, that'd be kind of.
Wait, why?
What are they doing? Inspecting labias all day, or what?
Shit, sign me up. Just kidding. Wasn't there a Friends episode about this where Jennifer Aniston? What was her name in Friends? Rachel. She was like dating this gynecologist, and he said something like, it's just like don't even want to look at vaginas because I look at them all day. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that.
And so it was a red flag for her, and she broke it off with the gynecologist.
Yeah, I would also feel that way.
I would too.
I think.
I feel like that's got to be kind of traumatizing for the guy. It's like,
why?
Because it's like, I mean, if you see a healthy vagina, great. You coming across some unhealthy pussy.
They're usually not there with health.
Like
healthy
maybe they
problems.
become
And they get up and so like they smell.
Oh my gosh, true. Yeah, something to think. This is why it's a red flag.
I mean, they don't.
If they're going to the
sniff
gynecologist,
it,
then
but like,
If it's bad enough, you don't need to be that close, I'm pretty sure. 'Cause,
That's true. It fills up the room.
Like there's girls that will get up from a chair and the room can smell it.
That's fucking disgusting.
God damn, bro. I mean,
It
there was
was
this.
terrible.
We had this one episode this one time.
Yeah, I don't know where this is gonna go, but it's gonna be good.
I mean, I wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt, but anyways, good talk. Red flag job.
I don't really consider jobs as a red flag.
I thought you would say that. There's not even, I don't know, nothing that comes to mind. Like a SoundCloud rapper or
I
something.
love SoundCloud rappers. The fuck.
Wait, do you have a type?
Do I have a type? I think I said that already. Models and athletes.
Oh.
And porn stars.
Models, athletes. Have you ever fucked an NFL player?
I mean, they were more like college level. It wasn't anything like crazy.
Like Division 3?
I don't know. I didn't ask.
Or like,
I don't
have
care
you
that
made it
hard.
up to like D1?
Not yet.
Okay, so like City College, like Division 2.
I mean,
it's not
whatever.
even division.
They look fit, so it's fine.
They look what?
They're fit.
They're fit.
They're athletes.
Okay,
It counts.
Red flag job.
I would say a sex worker, a pro athlete, and more often than not, a blue collar worker that does like at home meetups like an electrician or HVAC.
Damn,
Why is
can't do
that a
shit.
red flag?
Well, I know this from a few friends who have worked in the industry, but it's more common that you'll find like a single mother who's getting their house worked on that will throw themselves at the workers, and it's and it's unlikely that like a desperate guy would say no to that to get paid to like
Wait.
HVAC, that's a new one.
Did you
HVAC.
you know this by like personal experience? Or
My ex was an electrician, and he would come back from work and be like,
That's how you got cheated on, or
no.
Oh, sorry.
But he would like
boy.
complain. He'd be like, the grossest thing happened, or like, and then he would talk about how some of his friends would partake.
He probably
Oh.
did too, and just didn't tell you about it.
That is possible.
Red flag job for you?
You mean like red flag for someone like prospectively to date them?
Yeah.
Well, like, I don't know. I wouldn't.
Blocking her.
I'm not like dating.
Are you able to scoot
anything.
this way a little bit? Just the mic's kind of blocking you. Go ahead.
But like, the only thing I can think of is like a job that I wouldn't want my boyfriend to have now, because like, what other guys do doesn't really concern me that much. But so I could think of something like maybe being a police officer or something, just something that's not safe, is what I wouldn't want him to be doing.
Okay. Andrew, what's a red flag job for a woman?
Biggest one, social media influencer of any kind. Of any kind.
That's
Worse
bigger
than
a
porn, like
hooker?
sex worker. Worse than
I would think that the loyalty of a sex worker would be higher if she quit sex work and committed to one man than any kind of social media influencer.
Oh,
It is
boy.
by far, I would consider it to be the biggest red flag possible. Any woman who has influencer in their bio of any kind, I would stay as far away from them as possible.
Okay. I have a list here. Hairstylist, works in HR, flight attendant. How many cities have you been to? Travel nurse. How many
Fucking
cities?
cheating, you're cheating, bro. It was supposed to be the biggest red flag.
Oh, biggest red flag? Shit. Damn, biggest red flag? It's a toss-up between, I mean, let's just put sex worker to the side here. You got flight attendant and you got travel nurse. It's kind of like, I don't know. They're both pretty bad. Probably flight attendant, I'd say. Anyways.
Flight attendant is like, see, but that to me is similar to social media influencer. So it's like you always have the opportunity, you're always meeting men who are more powerful than you are and more powerful than the average man is. And so it's like the amount of in
This
entertainment,
guy.
you know this, Brian, the amount of women who have sex in order to attain clout in the social media world is fucking insane. It's wild over the top.
Interesting. Okay, those are the red flags. Let's see. Let's get back to the pre-show notes here. So we, Naomi. That's I moan backwards, by the way.
Circling back.
That's not your real name, though, is it?
No, it's the industry name.
Yep. You have dating stories are more private than your hoe stories.
Dead.
So tell us about your hoe stories.
Yeah, I put that in the last one that you sent me, and then I rethought that, and I was like, do I want to share that? 'Cause
Yeah,
it might be personal too, but then
I think you do want to share it.
oh no. I don't know. Can we come back to that question? Isn't there another one after that?
Hang on. We can come back to it. You ready? All right, we're coming back to that question.
I knew you were gonna do that.
We're back. We're so back. Boys, we are so back. Tell us the hoe stories. Let's hear it.
Well, I mean, it was more so like when I was younger, like in my college days.
Sure, that's fine.
But those were like more crazy.
How many years ago were your college days?
Like 10.
10 years?
10 or 11 or something.
You know, this is actually one of the rare times where
I didn't like graduate college though. I got straight A's, but I wanted to drop out because I wanted to.
Well, as a compliment to you, I judged you as being much younger than obviously you are if college was 10 years ago for you.
Right, because 18.
Yeah, so let's hear the hoe stories.
Like, anyways. God, do I get into it? Well, there was like one dude that I was seeing, and like it pissed me off. I thought he was seeing other people, like sexually and stuff. So, I mean, I fucked his dad, and then he fucked me again right after.
Wait. Wait.
Yeah.
Wait, did he know about it?
Yes, he did. I told him.
Excuse me?
Wait, you effed the dad.
Yeah.
And then you effed the guy.
No, the guy
son.
first. The son first.
The son. Then dad.
Then dad, because
back to
the son was acting up.
You flip flop.
And then the son again.
Flippity flop.
But she
But
said
the
he
son
knew.
was like wanting me to fuck him after. It was weird. I was like,
So he was
Wait,
into it.
what?
yeah, I know, right?
What?
He was literally into it.
What the
I was like, whatever.
That's so nasty.
That's a nice one
I
for that
mean-
one. That's crazy.
Who's better, the son?
Wait, how
Yikes.
old?
I was like, there's no way this is your dad.
Did they high five?
No.
Did they high five?
No.
Missed opportunity.
How old were you when that happened?
That was this year.
Oh, I thought you said these were college days. This was a
I know
year
I'm
ago.
saying they're crazier stories from in college, but I don't want to.
What's crazier than you fucked this guy's dad and then fucked him right after? Give me the crazier story. What's crazier than that?
I don't know. I have to think back to it. For real.
I feel like
It's so
the
long
real
ago.
list, if you have a real list of crazy stories in your head and you open with,
I know.
well, I have some really crazy one in colleges, but let me give you the tame one, which is the time that I fucked the guy's dad and then fucked him right afterwards. I feel like the real list of the things that happened in college can't be very evasive.
It's just that this one's more relevant because it happened recent. So I was like, whatever. And then the college ones, it's like, I know I did crazy shit. I just can't remember because it was 10 years ago, 11 years ago or some shit.
I mean, I remember shit from when I was like 5 years old.
I mean, I do too, but like, I think this is like a little different because I'm put on the spot.
Oh,
Was it like a lot of intoxication involved? Is that why it's like blurry?
on the spot.
This guy's
No,
both
I
us
just can't
always
pinpoint it to like one story.
holy heaven.
Because there's many. And that's okay.
Perhaps.
We all have our...
When has
Our
that ever
hoe
been okay with
stories.
you? You're like, all right, it's okay. You're there.
Tell us one more. One more hoe story.
Maybe if you come back to me, I can remember it though. That's the thing.
Well, I'll continue with the rest of your notes then, and you can think about
Okay.
it. You said dating while in the industry is a nightmare as expected, but also, in your opinion, overrated.
Is that what I said? Like
Yeah, it's
verbatim?
your
'Cause
words.
I don't
I'm
think I said
literally reading it verbatim. You don't think what?
Oh, dating while in the industry. I think you skipped the while in the industry. You just said dating in the industry, like within it.
Dating while in the industry.
Yeah, so like being a full service sex worker, which I think some people can even argue that porn is technically prostitution. That's a gray area again.
Sure.
But anyways, like it's a nightmare because it's like people aren't going to take you serious, and then the people that do, they're a little too overly open-minded, and then I'm like somewhat in between where it's like I do see it as a job, and then there's the off
Sure.
camera stuff, and then that's more personal to me now.
Okay. We have a chat here from Mr. Unremarkable. Thank you so much, man, for the super chat. Really appreciate it. That's absolutely vile. Still appreciate you staying in the conversation. As gross as it is, nasty, B.
Yeah.
What kind of gun is that, by the way, Mr. Unremarkable?
Called out.
What kind of gun?
What's your gun?
I'm not calling on a call out.
Oh, actually, that looks registered, so it's fine.
It looks registered?
I mean, the way he's holding it and he's got the headgear on or
That's
whatever.
just how
I mean,
that's just how you
that's
hold
an
a gun.
AR-15, right?
I'm just saying.
I'm just curious.
Like, you can look at it and tell because
It's
you see
black.
the extension on the stock, it has a tube, and that's where the recoil buffer goes, and only the AR-15 has that feature.
Oh.
It's a little hard for me to, it's very far away on my monitor, hard for me to see. But, all right, we have Naomi.
By the way, how does something look registered? What the hell
Just
does
the way that
mean?
people hold it, I guess, is a little
It looks
different.
registered?
It looks registered.
So you're saying people with unregistered
He looks
guns don't
like
know
a,
how to
How does an unregistered gun look
Not
like?
all the time,
That's
no.
just-
That's true.
he
It
looks...
just changes its feature when you register it.
Just the way, like,
He looks like
people
a
tote guns
respons-
differently when
like
they're
he looks like a
unregistered. They're just
responsible gun owner. Like he's not like
yeah,
holding
that
it
part.
like all thug, like off to the side and shit. He looks like he's responsible, and it's a registered firearm.
That's what it looks like. Yeah, that's what I'm
And
talking
his
about.
trigger discipline is fantastic.
Wait, I don't know about all that.
Okay.
We only saw the butt of the gun, right?
That is true, but I'm just assuming. Okay. You said your current mindset is on money right now because dating can and will set you back in many ways when you're focusing on personal goals while in the industry. It's difficult to find people open-minded and supportive enough to be a good companion. You've had issues with dating before the industry as well, but now it's harder for sure. Your dating life is somewhat personal, clearly. You say dating is overrated. Question, though, do you want to have kids one day?
I mean, ideally, yes.
Okay.
But I think if it doesn't happen, I'm not going to be totally devastated.
Okay. Do you want to get married?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, you kind of have to date to do that. But
I know.
You said basically your thoughts on dating. Basically your thoughts on dating is that everyone has a roster. You think society puts too much emphasis on the need for another person, that it perpetuates low self-worth. As for me, I'm mature enough to realize that I'm capable of being alone without the need of a significant other.
Yeah.
Okay. If you care to elaborate, that's fine. But otherwise, I'll just move it on. Let's see. Okay, that's Naomi. We need to wait to get back to Kaylee. We did Megan's notes. Nessa, short for Vanessa.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You said you've only dated one other man besides your current boyfriend. He was nice. We just disagreed on points of faith and lifestyle. Nothing to really interrogate there. You'd like to talk about the importance of traditional gender roles and the downplay of the value of intimacy in society nowadays. I believe you should date for marriage. I believe respecting your husband and loving your wife are some of the most important things a couple can do for their marriage. I'm from a broken home and have seen this play out in my parents' marriage. No disagreements there. Is there anything you want to elaborate on? Or?
No, I feel like it's pretty straightforward.
Okay, and you said you disagree with the intensity and black and whiteness of some of the hosts' takes. I assume you're talking about me and Andrew. I believe there's more of a gray area in a lot of the topics. So why don't you go into that? I guess what are the disagreements? What do you feel? Where do you feel there's more gray area?
No, that's why I put gray area, because I couldn't think of like anything that I specifically agree or disagree with when I was watching and researching it. So, because I was always kind of like, I guess, to some points, and then also was like, no. I don't know.
Well, so you said you disagree with the intensity and black and whiteness of some of the hosts' takes. So just going based off what you wrote in your own notes here, what are the takes in which you disagree with when it comes to the intensity and black and whiteness that either from Andrew or from me?
No, like it was already brought up earlier about your like
Go ahead.
dating preferences, about wanting a girl with like a low body count, but that would also sleep with you really quickly. That you were like, no, I wouldn't sleep with someone with a high body count. Is that being like a standard? I thought it was kind of weird.
Wait, what? Sorry, what was weird?
That you like wouldn't want to sleep with someone with a high body count, but you also don't want to get married. So it's like, why? I mean, if it's like an STD thing and they're clean, like why would you not want to?
Well, I'm a little confused as to the tying it into the marriage thing, because what would me wanting to get married or not wanting to get married have to do with finding it more optimal to date somebody who hasn't slept with a bunch of men?
I'm just saying, like, why is that like decreases their value is what you would think, which I also like feel that way too. So it's like, but if you're not dating for a marriage, like what are you dating for?
Well, do you think you can't have a lifelong girlfriend and have kids?
No, I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah, why is it ridiculous?
Because why would you stay with someone but not also just like just go ahead and marry them then if you plan on staying with them forever? Like what's the problem?
Well, I mean, this is the solipsism. So you're saying, why would a woman do that? But I'm the man here, so you need to make a convincing argument why I should get married to a woman. I get for you, maybe you don't like the deal, but I think it's a better deal for me to not get married. So convince me that I should get married.
I feel like it's not something that I can really convince you of, though.
Well, I mean, you've come on a dating podcast to have this conversation.
Yeah.
So let's have the conversation.
Then
you're not going to change my mind. I mean, but
like,
I'm happy to have the debate.
Because you want to date other people, like in your lifetime, you don't want to like just only be with one person?
Wait,
is that why you don't want to get married, because you want to be with other people?
Do I need to get married to stay with somebody for the rest of my life?
No.
Okay.
Are you worried about the like liability or repercussions?
The liability of what?
Like, or I should say repercussions of
marriage. Of getting.
Is that
yes,
so? You wouldn't.
I am concerned about the liabilities.
So you wouldn't love somebody enough to make that commitment?
Well, I can just reverse this onto you. Why can't she love me enough to not get married?
I guess.
So your argument falls apart.
I guess so. I guess that's just because your values don't match mine. So, like, I wouldn't agree with that if I were the girl.
That's totally fine. She shouldn't date me then.
Well, yeah, that's my point.
Right. But you're going to have to make a more compelling argument besides, well, if you love her enough, you would do it.
Well, the point of marriage is to make that commitment to become one with that person.
Is that the point of marriage?
It's to be with that person for the rest of your life. Dating is kind of like a precept to marriage.
Well, the issue with that is that the divorce rate is astoundingly high. So it doesn't seem, or it doesn't occur to me, that marriage precludes people from breaking up.
I would say the divorce marriage is influenced by the ideals idolized today, because people think love is a feeling, not an action. Being in love is a feeling that's fleeting, but loving someone is a commitment where you reach a point, because a lot of marriages reach that point where it's like a lull and you decide, okay, no, we're going to make this work, or we're going to work together to continue with each other. But most people choose dating because when it gets to that point, they're afraid to make that strong commitment to get past it. So dating is the easy way out, and it's like, I'd rather not, and then just go find somebody else. But marriage puts you under the responsibility of standing to that commitment.
Does it?
It should.
But what does it have to do really with, are you saying for both partners?
Yes, for both partners.
Well, wouldn't this criticism be better aimed at women, given that they're more likely to divorce men than the reverse?
I agree with that. I think women are too emotionally led and emotionally charged, to where it comes down to, if a man has a strong opinion or if it's rooted in truth, they can't handle it because it hurts their feelings. But I think what we need to teach women is your feelings don't matter when it comes to the truth. There's a hard truth and then there's a harsh truth. It's up to the man to be a good leader and a good man to be able to give the hard truth without just, blatantly being harsh. So I feel like when you guys bring it up, I agree. Women leave a lot of relationships for invalid reasons, but there's the small case of you have a man who couldn't lead the woman and she was displeased with the lack of leadership, which I guess...
Would that even be pretext for a divorce?
I have some things that I want to add to going off.
Wait, let me really quickly ask Andrew. Andrew, let me ask you a question. A Christian woman marries a Christian man, and he is, at least in her assessment, failing in his capacity to lead in the relationship, but he's otherwise a good person, a good man, there's no abuse. Is that enough pretext for a divorce?
No, Paul addresses this specifically. So the Apostle Paul says that even if the man falls away from Christ, the woman should stay married to him if she's a follower of Christ, because the likelihood is higher that he will be brought back to Christ by her not abandoning the marriage.
No, I understand. From a faithful perspective, that's different. I'm talking more of a secular.
Oh, you're okay, secular. We can keep it
right,
secular.
Because as a woman, for me personally, I pray for a husband because who better to choose my husband than the creator of all things? And me personally, I like to wait and work on myself so that when I come across a man of such value, I'm valuable enough for him to pursue me in such a way. Because I would prefer to have a traditional type of love, but in today's age, it's extremely rare.
Well, so I would like to bring it back to the whole marriage thing really quick, though. There's a chat coming in. I'll let it come through, then we'll get right back to it.
Ogle donated $200. Okay, so hypothetically, if there was a prenup that said you get $0 upon divorce, would that still be an acceptable commitment of marriage in the ways they're describing?
To you two?
I feel like it's a cop-out if you sign a prenup. It's like you're already planning for failure.
Oh, I see. Well, that's awful convenient to say, but I wonder this, right? And of course, I already know what your answer will be because it's a cop-out answer, but let us assume for a moment that the divorce courts were rigged in the favor of men instead of women, right? And that women were getting screwed over as much as men have gotten screwed over in the last 50 years inside of divorce courts. Would you say then that a woman should protect herself by getting a prenuptial agreement? Because if she didn't have said agreement, then if they did divorce, the man had all the earning capacity and she doesn't, and she needs to protect herself.
And let me add on to this. In this hypothetical scenario, men are initiating 80% of the divorces.
Okay. I understand the reason for signing a prenup. Like, I understand the reason.
But can you answer my question?
Right.
My question is, if the roles were reversed in this scenario, would you advise your friend who's a woman to have a prenuptial agreement so that if a divorce happened and he had all the earning capacity that she could protect herself?
I would tell her, don't get married if you can't make that risk. If you're not willing to make
That's the exact advice that I would give to a man in reverse. If a woman is unwilling to sign a prenuptial agreement, then don't get married.
No, I mean, don't get married if you're debating a prenup because you're
Right.
You're assuming
saying the
the
same thing
risk.
I'm saying. If you're debating a prenup, then don't get married.
Right, okay.
Same thing I'm saying.
Right.
So I would say that if the woman is willing to sign a prenuptial agreement, yeah, sure, get married to her, because then she is offering stake and equal to your own. And if she won't sign a prenuptial agreement, why get married to her?
I see what you're saying. Like, if she's not going to leave you anyways, it wouldn't matter.
That's right.
That makes sense. I guess the reason why I wouldn't, it's because it's like he's making a statement of, I trust you. So to me, it goes a little bit past the, like, how do I say that? The, like, cut and dry. It's just
legalities. Let us imagine for a moment. Let us assume that there was a bowl of M&Ms, okay, and they were all brown M&Ms. 50 to 60 to 70% of them were actually poisonous cyanide, and 30% of them were not poisonous cyanide, right? However, the person tells you, listen, I have checked these M&Ms, okay? I have checked them. And here, I'm going to hand you one of them for you to eat, and I need you to trust me. Or, option 2 is you can take the M&M and get it laboratory tested, right? Would you say that it's a betrayal of the trust to go and have it lab tested before you eat the M&M?
I would say it's smart, especially in today's dating.
I would say it's smart, yeah, to go and get the M&M tested, right?
However, I believe that if there is no trust in a relationship, then the relationship is not good.
I want you to know that this was cleverly done, how you tried to skirt the question. You didn't actually answer it, though. And so to ask you again, would you say it's a breach of trust to have the cyanide M&M, the possible cyanide M&M, tested, even though the person you love said that they already tested it? Are you actually breaking the trust by having that tested before you eat the M&M?
I would say yeah, because you're going against the word.
Yes, okay. So you would take the chance that you would take a cyanide-laced M&M rather than the potential that you might make the other person feel like you've broken their trust.
I feel like all relationship is risk, regardless.
Well, okay. If all relationship is risk regardless, you would agree with me that you're still taking a risk if you sign a prenuptial agreement. There's still a risk there. But I also think that a lot of relationships are designed around the mitigation of risk. Here's one such example. Do you plan on doing long-term family planning when it comes to your children?
Family planning?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Is that to mitigate risk?
No, it's to ensure that my kids are raised properly.
And you know that by taking out risk.
You're
taking away risk. That's how you know that they're, like, if you're doing long-term family planning, right? Then you're saying if I have more money than less money, there's less risk. Less risk that my kids are going to be in danger, right?
I thought you meant family planning in terms of education, like how you're...
Same thing. All of it is the same exact thing. It's all mitigating risk. So the idea here is you want your child to have the best education. Otherwise, you run the risk of them being less educated than they need to be to make it, right?
But you don't necessarily need to, like, spend a lot of money to get a good education.
I agree, but that has nothing to do with the fact that you're not mitigating risk. The whole point is to mitigate risk. So every time I look at married couples and I look at couples in relationships, they do everything in their power to mitigate risk, except sign this fucking piece of paper, which is really weird to me. And it seems to me like they don't want to sign the piece of paper because they don't want to mitigate his risk.
Well, okay.
It seems like they want to mitigate all the risk except his risk.
I guess that makes sense for a modern woman nowadays, like how women think. The reason I don't get it is because in my mind, it wouldn't make sense to me, because it's like, why would we...
Christian women don't divorce their husbands?
Well, it's also like, I'm not contemplating that if I'm deciding to marry you, so it's like, why would that even be a discussion?
Wait, but hold on.
Okay, well then let me counter with this last thing then, before I turn the floor over to Brian. Do you agree with me that there's a difference between religious marriage and state marriage? Meaning you don't need the state to be married in a religious sense.
Yeah, because you're
So
married.
if a man wanted to be in a religious marriage with you and not a state marriage, would you have any objection to that?
I guess that would depend on, like, the content of it, because it's like, how are you going to financially function with a partner if it's not legally...
What do you mean? The same way that everybody and their brother who's not married and cohabitates financially does this with their partner right this second, which is the overwhelming majority
I've also
of
never
both.
been married, so I don't know the full extent of how that goes. You
can have a joint bank account with somebody who's
Yeah.
your spouse.
Joint, you can have all the same things. You have all the same things. There's just no state involved.
I guess no.
You wouldn't have any objection to that, right?
No, because it's holy matrimony.
Great. Well, then if that's the case, what if he says to you, all I want you to do is sign this contract that says that the state can never get involved in our marriage?
I thought a prenup is just that...
No. The answer to my question. My question is, what if he asked you to just sign a contract that said the state can never be allowed in our marriage? We're married through the church instead. Would that be acceptable?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's a prenup.
I thought a prenup was more of like just strictly financial.
No, the prenup is saying we're not ever going to involve the state because we have now done away with all the conditionals that if this relationship does not work out, the state cannot come in and say A, B, and C, and D.
Oh.
This has already been litigated before there was ever a need to litigate it, right?
Well, then, yeah,
so if
that
it is
makes
true that you're
sense.
fine with a religious marriage, absent the state, and fine with signing a contract saying the state can never come in and litigate, then that means that you're fine with signing a prenup.
Okay, yeah. I guess my idea of a prenup was wrong, but yeah, that makes sense. Like, why wouldn't you? Because to me, it's like Brian said.
Well, you just answered your own question.
Yeah.
What do you mean, why wouldn't you? You're absolutely fine going into a religious marriage and exiting the state from it and signing a contract that the state can't get involved, then you're fine with a prenup.
Well, yeah, because I mean, if you're going into the marriage worried about money, then it's like, why are you getting married?
Right.
Oh, no, but she's still objecting to the prenup.
No, I'm not.
No objection. Yeah.
Wait, you are still objecting to the prenup.
No, it makes sense to sign a prenup if you.
But you just said, well, why are you getting married then?
No, why would you be getting married with your sole focus is about money?
Yeah, so you object to the prenup.
No, I'm saying.
So prenup fine, but also.
If you're objecting to a prenup, it's because you're worried about financial states.
The woman is objecting to it.
Right. So she's so worried about money going into this marriage, and it's like, well, you guys work together in the marriage, and am I making
Yeah,
sense?
you're making sense.
Okay.
You had something.
Yeah, I just remember reading like this stat, and I don't know how accurate it is, but it's like 50% of marriages ending in divorce isn't accurate for like first-time marriages. The number's kind of skewed for people who've been married like 2 or 3 times,
Sure.
and those marriages usually end like, and so it kind of like skews the,
absolutely.
the data there. So
Sure. Is
I
there
think,
further?
yeah, I mean, just kind of like I think there's maybe more reason to get married if you're getting married to the right person and it's your first time. Then there's a less.
Sure, there's less. If it's the first time getting married, there is a less of a risk,
Yeah.
I suppose.
But also, like, if you have kids, I mean, I think it's better to be married.
Why?
I read in my like kids, it was like child development or something like that, and I don't know
So it's
why.
soft science?
No, not.
Not even a science. Okay, go ahead.
It's well, I don't know, but I just read it in my child development class, and
Yeah.
it was just basically that people who come from a married household like have they are more successful.
They can be. It's not a guarantee.
Not a
though.
guarantee, but it's like
highly likely.
It's more likely that you will have a successful child if you are married.
Is it more likely you'll have a successful child, or is it that people who are married happen to have more successful children? Like, I don't think it causes it necessarily.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know for sure.
Was there something more that you had, or was that?
I mean, it was those two.
Okay. Yeah, I have to read this really quick. Legendary Trash Panda. I better get legendary status for this. Stop interrupting. Stop interrupting. Just stop. Okay. Thank you, Legendary Trash Panda. Really appreciate it. Okay, wait. So Nessa, going back to you, the marriage thing kind of started with you here. You said it was weird. Your friend kind of took over the conversation. Can you articulate why it's weird to not want to get married?
Well, for me, it's weird because I'm religious, and like, so coming from it from a secular point of view, obviously, I'm gonna think it's weird. Because for like Christians, getting married is like a really big deal, like more of a big deal than it is secularly, I think, because the commitment you make to God as well.
It's a blessing.
Is the
And it's
let me ask you
considered a
though, the
blessing.
state, is the state religious?
The state, like California,
No, the state, the government.
government, no.
No. Okay. So when you get divorced from your husband, does your religion oversee it, or does the state oversee your
Well,
divorce?
If you're married legally through the state, then the state.
Which most people are,
Yeah.
even if they're religious. Yeah. So even if you're the most well-to-do Christian, both the partners are very pious and devout, and they adhere to the faith. In the event of a divorce, that kind of all goes out the window, even for religious people, because your religion does not oversee your marriage. The state oversees your marriage. And also the problem with this, like whether you're traditional, conservative, religious, so the state presides over your marriage, not your biblical values. So when the woman is unhappy, she's going to go to the state, not God.
Well, she should go to God. Right.
Well, she can go to God first, but when she inevitably perhaps seeks out the divorce, she's going to go to the state. She's going to go to attorney.
Yeah, we're just looking at enforcement. So the idea here is like you could morally be correct that everybody should go to the church for their marriage. I don't disagree with that. But who ultimately has the force in this scenario? It's not the church. You ever see a church enforce any type of divorce ever? No, because they can't. So what you're left with is who's the enforcement arm? In this case, it's the state. So Brian says, I don't want the state involved in my marriage, right? And I can't think of a single good fucking reason why he should. Not a single one. And I have asked every woman who's ever come on whatever this question, why in the world would a secularist ever get married? It is the dumbest decision in modernity I could ever think of. It's almost 100% for a lot of the, well, okay, it's not almost 100%, but the likelihood that this is going to end badly is extraordinarily high. If you were to ask somebody, would you get in an automobile that 50% of them crash? They're not getting in the car. And it's like, why? If you're not a religious individual, if you don't believe in Christianity or Islam or something like this, why the fuck would you get married as a secularist man? It's beyond me. And so I'll ask this panel the same question I've asked everyone who's come on, whatever. Can any of you think of a good reason why a secularist man would ever want to get married in modernity? A single good reason?
If she can make cookies like Rachel Wilson.
Yeah, you can have the cookies without the marriage, right?
I feel like that's the problem with modernity, though. That's the reason we have so many broken people, because they come from broken homes, or lack of commitment, lack of responsibility, lack of...
How do you have a broken home if you don't get married?
A lot of people have relationship or have kids outside of wedlock, and then when they decide they're done dating...
Yeah, but you're thinking about this from the Christian perspective. Think of it from the secularist perspective.
Well, that's what I said.
The secularist doesn't give a shit about abortion. The secularist doesn't give a shit about any of these things. From a secularist standpoint, if they impregnate a woman, and it's a secularist woman they impregnate, she just goes and gets an abortion. They don't have to deal with any of the fallout from any of this, right? Why in the world would they ever get married?
Well,
why? They could just give the same... In fact, couldn't a secularist just make the declaration, we are now married, and they would be? Like, what's the governing authority here?
You had something, Nessa? Go ahead.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, yeah, that makes sense, because marriage is, in a sense, religious, because God created marriage. So, if you're someone that doesn't believe in God or follow him, why would you follow something
But I think there's actually enough, even for religious men, Christian men, simply by virtue of the state's involvement. I think that's enough justification to be hesitant, even as a religious man, when it comes to marriage.
Well, it is. It is.
I would.
And that's why when you see the secularists rage against me for saying that there should be an ecclesiastical authority over marriage instead of a state authority, they get so enraged they can't see straight because so you're going to allow the church to interfere in people's personal lives, as opposed to the state? What makes the state better?
Squirrel, beloved pet and internet sensation, euthanized after being seized by the New York State.
Peanut was the best thing that ever happened to us, and we got confirmation that they put him down.
Peanut the squirrel, who garnered more than 500,000 followers on Instagram, was euthanized after being seized by New York Department's Environmental Conservation. Peanut was rescued by Guardian, who witnessed Peanut's mother being hit by a car. Why'd they let him take it? Well, it's the government, right?
In a second post, the couple, who operates a wildlife shelter called Peanut's Freedom Farm Animal Sanctuary.
Wait, they have an animal sanctuary called Peanut's Freedom Farm, and they took the animals off of the Freedom Farm and the government killed them?
Fred the raccoon was also put down.
Why? That's not even a full-grown raccoon.
Peanut, who had amassed an audience of over 500,000 Instagram followers and more than 400,000 followers on Facebook, was seized by the DEC October 30th. Mark shared the news on a post at the time saying, "The New York State DEC showed up to my house and took Peanut. He was taken to be euthanized."
So this lady, she was really mad about Peanut. The Karen who reported Peanut, the rescue squirrel, to the authorities was allegedly angry that a squirrel had more Instagram followers than she did and boasted to friends that she was going to turn the little rat in.
For context, people found out about the lady after they started digging on her accounts, and the Peanut official account made an Instagram story, Signal boosting these leaks and saying he already sent a request to make all the complainants' name public. While we are not 100% sure about this lady involvement, we do know who was responsible for the raid on the house. New York's director of the Department of Environmental Conservation, Karen Paziclek.
Oh my fucking God. How do you do this? This can't be real. The government has literally gone and removed a squirrel from its owners because a lady was sad that it had more Instagram followers than her. And in the process of removing the squirrel bit someone, and then they killed the squirrel.
Sorry, Uma. It's been a while. First thing I saw this morning when I went to my phone was a message from Matt, who sent me a really sad story about an adorable pet squirrel named Peanut who was confiscated from his home and euthanized by the Department of Environmental Conservation in New York. So I started my day with a frown. They also executed Fred the raccoon as well, another one of his pets. So the Department of Environmental Conservation was not really conserving the environment. Instead, they were preserving their KD ratio here, just piling up corpses of beloved pets of this man. It's disgusting. The reason the Department of Clowns gave is a load of barnacles. They said they got anonymous complaints. Thus, they showed up here like fucking every villain is Lemons from SpongeBob, and they confiscated his pets because there was a risk of rabies exposure through him having a squirrel and a raccoon in his home. And then when they were kidnapping the pets, one of the officers apparently got bit by the squirrel, and thus they were concerned about potential rabies. But the only way to test for rabies is on a dead animal, so they killed Fred and Peanut to test for rabies. An entirely avoidable tragedy here because there was no reason to confiscate them in the first place. First of all, the officer being bit is a pretty normal thing to happen here when you're abruptly taking an animal from its home. It's going to get scared and it's probably going to bite because it's frightened and doesn't know what to do. That's not exactly concerning, alarming behavior. That's unusual. And the owner had both Fred and Peanut for an extended period of time, and animals that have rabies usually don't last longer than 2 weeks. They're usually dead within 2 weeks. Of course, squirrels and raccoons can be vectors for rabies, but so can almost every other pet on the fucking planet, like dogs, for instance. Is the DEC going to start acting on anonymous phone calls claiming that their neighbor's dog might not have their rabies shot? Is the DEC going to bust through their fucking walls with a bazooka and start kidnapping people's dogs and euthanizing them to test for rabies? Probably not. I understand that raccoons are one of the largest vectors for rabies, but in this case, the owner had him for so long that if it did have rabies, it would have shown symptoms and had already been dead. And he had Peanut for 7 years. So I think both were in the clear there, and from every
Abrams, your team will count on your courage.
Anybody want solo? I'm coming your way. I'm coming your way. Alright, we're good.
Guns, trinkets, tickets to South Pacific.
I love this trip.
Good luck not getting shot. see someone appreciates fine craftsmanship.
See what this book can do.
I suck at this game.
There's nowhere to hide. You should run.
Here I have to
Take my boon and be blessed.
Ah, the old New York tuxedo.
This is the end. I'll crash into him.
Try not to die from coming after me. Put me to 66.
This book is gonna give them more than they bargained for.
You should run.
Not personal, Hayes.
You're one vindictive snipe from death.
Let it be. I don't give a fuck. I am Abraham. I'm supposed to take damage. And right now, the situation is not that critical. We're supposed to be growing even if we die.
Have fun. Don't get dead.
This could be a trap.
I'm coming.
Pull back! I needed that, McGinnis.
Gotta build me some backup.
And a warning.
We got each other's back.
We gotta keep this up.
Let's kill the Guardian fast.
I'll give him hell.
Oh fuck, the blue walker is about to fall. That sucks. I need to reload fast. Ah shit.
I gotta go buy real quick.
Let the ley lines course through the spirit urn is waiting to be claimed.
Are you kidding me?
Drop it in. Now, Wraith.
Headed to yellow.
To stop.
Pull back.
Objectives down.
It's over. The crows obey.
Not playing stupid, that's for sure.
I've been talking to myself for like 3 games now.
Yeah,
I was like, what the fuck? My bad, Wraith and Abrams at the beginning. I'm like, why the fuck is no one answering me?
I was like, why did he just show up here? I was like, whatever, I got it.
Because last game I fucking made Abrams, the cop dude, my bitch. And I did it again. No, the freaking, the other cop. You're a detective.
Warden?
Yeah, that guy.
No, what I'm saying is, like, you just showed up in my lane, you didn't let me know. That's because you weren't able to talk to me.
Right.
Walker is under attack.
Going blue.
Ah, you have discerning taste.
Gotta build me some backup.
Well, we got the thing.
Woo!
He's waiting.
We got the thing!
And fight!
Almost have ricochet.
Careful, Abrams.
An ambush could be coming from anywhere.
She fucking hurts.
Well, that was funny. I was playing up the rope, down the rope with Seven and Wolf. I was like fucking with them that way. Still, they killed me in the end.
They have
Nothing that we can do now. It was too late already. Over saltiness or what? I wonder.
I will strengthen
I don't know. It could be either or at this point.
I found it really weird.
I don't understand how Hayes can ever quit the game. It's the most broken character in the set.
I wouldn't say that personally speaking, but
Abrams
She's
is the most broken
pretty easy to
character.
counter. Metal armor, fucking
after all the nerfs
ricochet.
Abrams is the most broken hero. He's like a 96% win rate.
No, I don't think Abrams.
I think
Abrams got a good amount of nerfs, although his nerfs are not crippling. Thank God.
There are some new heroes that are coming out that might be
I
able
can't
to
wait to
slow
play
him
that
down
frog.
a little bit.
Dude, fuck the frog. It's all about the cat.
No, the cat's good too.
Calico. Oh my god. Like, she's so broken already.
Yeah, but the frog is. I like sneaky, stealthy characters, and the frog just fits my build.
He looks good too. And then there was the guy who has like the slide and jump bonus. That guy seems pretty neat. Oh.
I want to play a wrecker.
I don't know how good he is. I like the fact that you can throw a boulder.
Nerfed to the fucking ground. That's the only thing I know about that. About her.
Well, because of her fire rate.
But I love what Val did. Everybody's in labs. So, hey, please experiment and tell us what is fucked up. Thank you very much.
She's back, so.
priest.
Great talent is low. I don't know if these guys can kill him, actually.
Your brilliance is an example to us all, McGinnis.
That bitch almost killed me. She put me down to 10 health. Thank you for killing her.
That's some damage right there. Bye-bye, bitch.
The spirit is waiting to be claimed.
Be careful, they're taking steam now.
I'll take all of you.
Has been destroyed.
Dude, that thing just did 800 damage. I thought I was safe.
If you don't hit my turret yet, you're gonna real soon.
Your arcane mastery.
That's more than half my health. Holy crap.
That's why this game is so dependent on builds. You really need to think ahead before, well, to see what playstyle you can play in against what character. Some characters just delete your freaking health bar.
Swing by anytime.
Do I need to get knocked down for a guy or whatever that hose name is?
We have two of them.
Oh, okay. All right.
I suppose Vindicta is the main issue right now.
Between Invicta and the
No,
Archer.
well, I mean, you got knocked down, so she shouldn't be too bad, right?
Depends. If the Vindicta is good enough, he can play from far enough to shoot our asses, and we cannot do shit unless we get it close enough and later use knockdown.
They've taken an objective.
Going green.
Here I come. I never wanted the OSIC as an enemy.
Debuff remover. Also a very good one.
Our purple walker is under attack.
Fuck, somebody go. I'm trying to go purple. I don't know if I'm fast enough right now.
Someone's using their noodle.
Headed to purple.
Our purple walker has been destroyed.
fucking stuff.
They delivered the urn.
Let's see what this You thought you were gonna keep me down.
Son. Good work, Abrams.
Great challenge, get your frickin' Ronnie ass back here.
I fear no one. I'm not backing down. Walker is under attack.
That's some good old carpet bombing right there, motherfucker. The map is now freaking Iraq.
Everything I saw and everything I read, he wasn't being irresponsible, taking them to dangerous locations where they could be exposed to an infectious animal where they could contract rabies.
I really hate that shit from this game.